things happen all the time, and you know, I find humor in them, and so I tell them, but it's not because I haven't done dumb things myself. I'm not really trying to make fun of anybody. I'm just sharing with you funny stories that happen. Because I can remember in school one time we were studying childbirth, and I referred to the umbilical cord. And my teacher said, "You mean the umbilical cord?" I said, "No, the umbilical cord. I was referring to the virgin birth." I learned real quick, if you're going to be stupid, you better be funny. But people often ask me, you know, how I got into comedy, and the truth is I had no choice but to become a comedian because funny follows me. I'm not kidding, everywhere I go. I was passing through Mississippi. I stopped to eat. I ordered a salad. The waitress said, "What kind of dressing?" And I said, "I want Caesar." And she said, "Oh, no." She said, "Honey," said, "they come in these real easy to open packets. You won't need no Caesars." And I was working down in St. Augustine, Florida, and a friend of mine had gone with me who also had short blonde hair. We'd gone out to eat. Waiter walked over and said, "Are y'all related?" And I said, "No." And he said, "Are you sisters?" I said, "Where did I lose you?" And then I heard a man sitting at the very next table ask that same waiter if the Alaskan snow crab was local. He said, "I think so." A lot of this comedy just writes itself, I tell you. One day I'm sitting in the doctor's office waiting room, and a lady strikes up a conversation with me and starts telling me about a trip she's getting ready to make to Washington. So I said, "Washington State or Washington, D.C.? She said, "I don't know." And then she continued to talk about her trip, so I thought, well, she didn't understand the question. So again, I said, "I'm sorry, did you say you're going to Washington State or to Washington, D.C.? She said, "I don't know." She said, "Wherever the president lives." And her vote counts just as much. But one of my favorite ones happened when I was working in Indiana. It was just across the Kentucky line off Interstate 65. Right there's where the time zone changes. And I'd forgotten to ask where my show was. They were on Central Time or Eastern Time. Well, I had to run into Walmart anyway, so I just grabbed a woman in the store and I said, "Are you on Central Time or Eastern Time?" She said, "I don't work here." Now for 30 years, and let me tell you, all of them hadn't been like this. One of my early gigs, I was hired to do a beauty pageant in a little town, Middle Tennessee. I was asked to host, and I was told that it would be in a barn-like structure. So I'm thinking it's a theater that's been built to look like a barn. Well, I went dressed like I was doing the Miss America pageant. And I get there, it's a barn. And as I walk up to the barn, there is an ambulance sitting there with the interior light on, and I can see a woman inside with an ice pack on her head. And so I walk in, I said, "Yeah, I'm Karen Mills. I'm here to host the beauty pageant." She said, "Honey, you got to wait a minute." Said, "Our stage up and fell in." and it hit our best hairdresser in the head with a 2x4. And then finally, when I get out there, I'm doing my bit, I'm about to deliver a punchline, and someone grabs me from behind and says, "Will you announce that Kim Bumble's in the bathroom throwing up and her mama needs to check on her?" And all I could think was, I wish the stage would up and fall in again.